Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to show you how I created this really beautiful look that you see here, which was inspired by the shirt that I have on, and of course also the earrings, which are waffles with butter, blueberries, and a cute little bow, so stay tuned. I wanted to show you guys my cute updo that I did, and of course the earrings that are going to inspire this look. Before we get started on the look, I wanted to show you my cute lip balm. I bought this at Miss A. It's a cute little umbrella, and the inside is so soft and it's so cute, and it just gives you a nice clear shine to your lips and moisturizes them. But look how cute the packaging is. And now to start on this beautiful eyeshadow look. I'm using the P. Louise base and the color is Rumor 01, and I'm going to start off by carving my eyebrows and applying that primer all over my lid. My skin does look a little red this morning because I just washed my face and I moisturize it, and when I do apply my moisturizer, I like to massage it in so I know my skin is very hydrated. I am taking my time with this step because I want to make sure that my eyebrows are nice and concealed. Once that I like the way my eyebrows are shaped, then I'm going to drag that primer all the way down to my eyelid, and with my finger I'm just going to be dabbing it and spreading it around. And now that we have our primer in place, I'm going to be using the BlendBunny Cosmetics Ellis palette. And if you haven't seen it before, this is what it looks like. I just love this packaging. I love the way the silver and the black look together, and the mirror, and look at those beautiful colors that we're going to be using today. We're going to start off with the color Cosmic, and it's this beautiful light blue color. And with a fluffy brush, I'm going to be applying it to the inner corner and the outer corner of my eye, as you see here. Since this color is going to be the background color, because we're going to be adding more on top to layer it, you want to make sure that this color is as blended as nicely as possible, and it goes as high as it can. One of the many things that I like about this P. Louise base is that it is lighter, so it does help any color appear brighter, and it does make those colors pop. Based on my previous experience with various primers, I will say this one is probably one of my favorite ones because it is very creamy and it does make it easy to blend those colors. Sometimes whenever you get a very sticky base, it makes those colors very hard to blend and you get a lot of fallout. Next, I'm going to go back into the palette and get the color Galactic, which is this beautiful ocean blue color. And I'm going to be using another fluffy brush, and I'm only going to be dabbing it in the center of where we just blended that blue. And I'm only going to be blending that out just a little bit. I don't want to go as far out as I did to the other blue. With this look that we're doing today, we're basically working backwards. So we're going to be doing the lighter color, the medium, and the darker color. You can't even go another step forward and then do like a black if you want to do more of a smoke here. The reason why we do that is because if you do darker to lighter, you tend to lose a lot of the previous colors' pigmentation. Since you will be doing a lot of blending, a lot of those colors will lose that color, and then you're just going to be layering and layering and layering. So it's just easier to work from lighter to darker. It's always going to be a lot easier to add to a color than to take it away. Once that color is blended, I'm going to go back into the palette. I'm going to grab the next shade of blue, which is the color Eternal, which is a nice royal blue. And I'm using a smaller packed fluffy brush to only apply it in the center. And as you can see, I'm not really fluffing it out like I did the other blues. I'm just keeping it very concentrated in those areas. I think these earrings gave me a glimpse into the future of what my day was going to be like, because I was planning on hanging out with some friends and go to a pottery place called Purple Glaze, where you can just paint pottery pieces of all sorts and basically just have a good time. Well, that was the original plan, but I had another friend that I hung out with before we went to that place, and we ended up getting a pumpkin pie. It was such a good idea because we had such a good time having girl time, we were painting, and we were obviously having some delicious pie. We offered some slices to the people that were there as well, and a lot of them did decline, but the staff members in that location did agree, and they also really appreciated that pie. And even though these earrings are waffles, they kind of gave me a glimpse into the future that it was going to be a bittersweet moment, and it really was. We had such a good time. And now with the first color that we applied, I am just blending out those colors together without applying any more product, and just making sure that everything looks nice and blended. Next, I'm going to go back into the palette. I'm going to get the color Eternal, which is this very beautiful shimmery shade that you see here. And it does have a little bit of blue, but it's kind of hard to tell on camera. But just look at the way it applies on my eyelid. Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. I just love the way it looks, very metallic looking. And with my finger, I'm just applying it all the way up to my eyebrow and blending it out with the other blues and just making sure that everything looks nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to be using these three blues that you see here. It's the color Eternal, Galactic, and Ether. Now with this step, I am going to go backwards to what I originally had said, and we're going to do darker to lighter, just because I want to make sure that we get the darker color on there first, because if it does have any fallout, you want to use the lighter colors to kind of blend that out. For the eyelid, since it is the center of attention that people usually see more, you definitely want to do lighter to darker colors, and then the bottom lash line, you want to go from darker to lighter, just because of the fallout that I mentioned. And because you do have a little bit more of a control of how dramatic you want your eyes to look. So for example, this blue that I'm using right now, if I want to keep this look simple, I'm just going to drag it all the way to my bottom lash line and then just call it a day. But since I do want to make this a more of a dramatic look, I'm just going to keep layering the previous colors that were on my lid and just dragging it down towards my concealer until it looks nice and big and fluffy, if that makes any sense. It's almost like a radiant effect, so it's like darker to lighter basically. So like I mentioned, the radiant effect, I'm basically adding the previous color that I used and then over and over. The only thing I will say, the lighter color that I used, which was the Cosmic, is not the one that I'm using for my lower lash line, just because I wanted to be a little bit more blue, and that's why I'm using the color Ether and not the Cosmic color. Once I'm satisfied with the way the eyeshadow looked, I'm going to be using the NYX Epic Wear eyeliner in the color Sapphire, and I'm going to be applying that to where I would normally apply my black liner. One thing about those NYX eyeliners is that eyeliner is not going nowhere. Like sometimes whenever I would try to take it off with a makeup remover or even take a shower, I noticed that eyeliner stays there and it doesn't come off unless you actually rub it off, which is really good. That's how you know it's good. Next, I'm going to be using the Davis Waterproof Lip and Eyeliner Pencil in the color Blue, and I'm going to be using that to do my waterline and making sure that all of that is covered and nicely coated. We're about to be looking like a Smurf today. And next, I'm using my Holy Grail mascara, which is the Essence Call Me Queen, and just applying a thin coat to my top and my bottom lashes. And in this step, while I'm applying the mascara, I did already select my false lashes and applied some glue. So while that's drying and getting tacky, I'm going to move on to my lips, and I'm going to be using the NYX lip pencil in the color Nude Truffle to outline them. Since we are doing a very bold blue look, I wanted to keep the lips very natural, so that way it doesn't take away from the main center of attention. Once I'm done outlining my lips, I'm going to move on to the gloss, and I'm using the NYX Butter Gloss, and the color is Madeline, which is this very beautiful nude color with a little hint of pink, and I just really like the way NYX lip glosses smell like cocoa butter. It smells so good. And now that the glue is tacky, I'm going to go ahead and apply my false lashes. When I was first learning how to do makeup, I used to apply false lashes as soon as I put the glue on them, and I noticed that it caused a lot of problems because it would mess up my eyeshadow, the lashes would move, and it was just terrible. So now I like to make sure that my eyelashes are tacky, and I give them about 25 to 35 seconds before I apply them, and it makes it so much easier now. And that is all for today's look. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Bye!